What no one tells you about being a chosen one is that it is not a blessing, it is an initiation, that a responsibility so great that it will shake the very foundations of your existence. You didn't ask for this. You didn't wake up one morning and say, "I want to be different." No, something greater than yourself placed this upon you. Knowing. A force that calls you away from the ordinary and into the unknown. And yet, despite this calling, no one claps for you. No one celebrates the path of the chosen one. They don't see the battles you fight in silence, the loneliness that comes with knowing things others do not. Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Like you are watching the world move, but you are not moving with it? You try to fit in, to play the roles society has given you, but something deep inside resists. It whispers to you, you are meant for more. And yet, when you try to explain this feeling to others, they don't understand. They tell you to be realistic, to follow the crowd, to stop dreaming. But how can you stop dreaming when the dream is embedded in your very soul? This is the first truth about being a chosen one: isolation. Not physical isolation, but an internal solitude, a knowing that no one else carries the weight you do. You can be in a room full of people, yet feel alone, because your mind operates on a different frequency. While others are distracted by temporary pleasures, you are searching for deeper meaning. While they chase validation, you seek truth. While they fear the unknown, you are drawn to it. And that makes you different. That makes you dangerous.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
But here's the second truth: being a chosen one does not mean you are ready. Many people think that because they have been called, they are already wise, already strong. But no, the calling is only the beginning. The real journey is what follows, and it is not glamorous. It is not filled with applause or recognition. In fact, it often begins with destruction. The old version of you must die. The beliefs you held, the attachments you clung to, the identity you thought was real, all of it must be stripped away. Because a chosen one is not allowed to live in illusions. Have you ever felt like your life was falling apart, only to later realize it was falling into place? That was not coincidence. That was initiation. You were being broken down so you could be rebuilt. Every hardship, every betrayal, every moment of doubt, it was all part of your training. The universe does not choose the weak for this path. It chooses those who have the strength to endure, to transform, to rise from the ashes. But most people do not understand this. They see suffering as punishment, not as preparation. They curse the darkness, not realizing it is shaping them into something greater. And here lies the third truth: most people will not see what you see. They will not understand why you walk away from certain things, why you no longer resonate with the same conversations, the same habits, the same people. They will call you arrogant, distant, strange. But you are not here to be understood. You are here to understand, to see beyond the veil, to break free from the illusions that keep the world asleep. But here's the real question: are you willing to walk this path, knowing it will cost you everything? Because make no mistake, it will. You will lose friends. You will lose comfort. You will lose the simplicity of an ordinary life. But what you gain in return is something no one else can touch. A mind that is free, a spirit that is unbreakable, a purpose that is undeniable. And yet, even with all these realizations, there is still one final truth that no one tells you about being a chosen one. The journey never ends. There is no final destination where you suddenly arrive and everything makes sense. No, the path of the chosen one is a lifetime of learning, of unlearning, of evolving. But here's the paradox: the more you grow, the less you need. The more you understand, the less you speak. The more you awaken, the less you fear. Because you realize that everything you were searching for was inside you all along. So ask yourself, are you truly ready for what comes next? Because once you see the truth, you can never go back. But here's something no one ever tells you: being a chosen one is not about power, nor is it about knowledge. It is about responsibility, and responsibility is heavy. The moment you awaken to the truth of who you are, the illusions of the world begin to unravel before your eyes. The things that used to excite you no longer bring you joy. The distractions that once kept you entertained now feel empty. The people who once felt familiar now seem distant. And you begin to wonder, am I changing, or is the world revealing itself for what it has always been? This is where the real test begins. Because the moment you start to see, the moment you start to understand, you will realize something terrifying. Most people do not want to wake up. Most people do not want the truth. They have built their lives around comfortable lies, around illusions that keep them safe. And when you, as a chosen one, begin to speak, begin to question, begin to disrupt the illusion, you will not be welcomed. You will not be celebrated. No people will resist you. They will call you crazy. They will mock you. They will try to pull you back into the dream because your awakening reminds them of their own sleep. Have you ever tried to explain something profound to someone only to be met with blank stares? Have you ever shared a deep realization only to be dismissed? That is the life of a chosen one. You will see things others do not. You will understand things others cannot. And yet, you will be surrounded by those who refuse to see. And this will be one of the greatest pains of your journey, not the trials, not the hardships, but the loneliness of knowing. But there is something even deeper, something that no book, no teaching, no mentor can prepare you for. There will come a day when you question everything, when the path feels too hard, too isolating, too uncertain. When you look at those who are still asleep and envy their ignorance. When you wonder, why me? Why was I chosen? Why do I have to see what others cannot? And in that moment, you will be faced with a choice: to continue forward despite the pain, despite the loneliness, despite the burden, or to turn back, to close your eyes, to pretend you never saw the truth. But here is the secret: once you awaken, you can never truly go back. You can try. You can distract yourself. You can bury yourself in noise, in routine, in temporary pleasures. But deep inside, you will always know. You will always feel the pull, because the truth does not leave you once you have seen it. The calling does not disappear simply because you wish it away. No, the universe does not waste its gifts, and you were given this sight for a reason. And so, the real question is not whether you can go back. The real question is, do you have the courage to move forward? Because the path of the chosen one is not about comfort. It is not about ease. It is about becoming something greater. It is about transformation, and transformation is painful. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly without dissolving first. The seed does not become a tree without breaking through the earth. And you who are chosen cannot become who you are meant to be without first letting go of who you were. But then comes the next challenge, the test that separates the truly awakened from those who only believe they are. Because knowledge is not enough. Seeing is not enough. Many will awaken, but few will act. Few will embody the truth they have discovered. Few will live in alignment with the wisdom they have gained. And that is the final and greatest challenge of all. Because the world will tempt you. It will try to pull you back. It will offer you comfort, distractions, rewards for forgetting who you are. It will convince you that your path is too hard, that your purpose is too vague, that your mission is impossible. And if you are not careful, if you are not disciplined, if you are not unwavering in your conviction, you will fall. You will become like those who see but do not act, those who know but do not change, those who are awake but still choose to sleep. So ask yourself, are you ready for that test? Are you ready to not just see, but to live what you know? Are you ready to become the embodiment of the truth you have discovered? Because that is the final step. That is what separates the few from the many. That is what determines whether you were truly chosen or whether you were simply given a glimpse and decided it was too hard to follow. And if you choose to walk this path, if you choose to carry this responsibility, then know this. You are not alone. You may feel alone. You may walk alone. But you are not alone. Because there have been others before you. Others who have walked this path. Others who have faced what you are facing. And though you may not see them, though you may not know their names, they are there, watching, guiding, waiting for you to step into your power. So do not fear the path ahead. Do not fear the trials, the loneliness, the resistance, because you were chosen for a reason. And if you have the strength to see it through, if you have the courage to embrace what you were meant to become, then you will realize something incredible. You were never just one among many. You were always meant to stand apart. But there is something even deeper that no one tells you about being a chosen one, but something that will shake you to your core when you realize it. You are not chosen because you are special. You are chosen because you are willing. Think about that for a moment. The universe does not randomly decide who will awaken and who will not. It does not favor one soul over another. It simply looks for those who are ready, those who are willing to endure, those who will not break under the weight of truth. And the brutal reality is this: most people are not willing. Most people are not ready. They may feel a calling, they may sense that there is something greater, but when the time comes to step into it, they hesitate. Or they retreat. They choose comfort over truth, illusion over awakening, safety over transformation. And that is why you are different. Not because you are better. Not because you are above others, but because something in you refused to stay asleep. Something in you heard the call and answered, even when you didn't fully understand what it meant. Even when you knew it would cost you everything. But here is the paradox: being chosen does not mean you are guaranteed success. It does not mean you will automatically fulfill your purpose. Because the truth is, many who are called will fail. They will start the journey but never finish it. They will awaken but never fully embrace their path. Because the tests never stop coming. The illusions never stop tempting. The distractions never stop trying to pull you away. So ask yourself this: how far are you willing to go? Because there will come a time when everything in you wants to give up. When the weight of this journey feels unbearable. When you will look around and wonder if it was ever worth it. And in that moment, you will be faced with the choice: do you keep going or do you turn back? Most people turn back. They go as far as is comfortable, as far as they can without losing too much, without changing too much. They convince themselves that they have gone far enough, that they have learned enough, that they have awakened enough. But enough is the deception that keeps the chosen ones from becoming who they are meant to be. Because the truth is, there is no enough on this path. There is no point where you can say, I have arrived. I have learned all there is to learn. I have grown all there is to grow. No, the path of the chosen one is a path of constant evolution, constant destruction, constant rebirth. And only those who are willing to die and be reborn over and over again will truly fulfill their destiny. But what does that look like? What does it mean to truly embody this path? It means you will be tested, not once, not twice, but endlessly. Every time you think you have mastered yourself, life will show you where you are still weak. Every time you think you have overcome your fears, a deeper fear will emerge. Every time you think you are done healing, another wound will open. Because the universe is not interested in half-awakened souls. It is not interested in partial transformation. It will break you down until there is nothing left but the truth of who you really are. And that is why most people cannot handle this path. They want the wisdom, but not the suffering. They want the power, but not the sacrifice. They want enlightenment, but not the destruction that comes before it. But you were chosen because you were willing to endure what others could not. And here is the final and greatest truth of all: being a chosen one is not about what you gain. It is about what you give. Because the moment you truly awaken, you realize something profound. It was never about you. It was never about your comfort, your success, your happiness. No, the universe did not choose you so that you could live an easy life. It chose you because the world needs you. Look around. Look at the suffering. Look at the fear. Look at the people trapped in illusions, lost in distractions, disconnected from their own souls. You were chosen because you have the ability to help them see, to help them awaken, to be the light in a world that has forgotten how to shine. But here is the hardest part: you cannot force them to wake up. You cannot make them see what they are not ready to see. And this will be one of the greatest pains of your journey. Watching those you love stay asleep, watching them resist the truth, watching them choose their chains, even when you are offering them freedom. And this is where most chosen ones fail, not because they are not strong enough, not because they are not wise enough, but because they cannot accept that they cannot save everyone. But here is what you must understand: your job is not to wake people up. Your job is to be awake. Because when you are truly awake, when you are truly living in alignment with your purpose, you will become the proof that others need. Not through your words, but through your presence. Not through your arguments, but through your energy. People will feel it. They will sense the difference in you. They will see the way you move through life, the way you handle challenges, the way you radiate something they cannot quite name. And in that moment, some will begin to wonder, is there something more? And that is how you truly change the world. Not by forcing, not by preaching, but by embodying the truth so fully that others cannot ignore it. But to do that, you must first become it. You must first walk through the fire. You must first face every shadow, every fear, every illusion within yourself. Because you cannot guide others through what you have not yet conquered. You cannot show them the way if you are still lost. So this is your final test. not to see, not to understand, but to become, because the world does not need more thinkers. It does not need more seekers. It needs warriors of truth. It needs those who are willing to embody what they know, not just speak it. It needs those who are willing to sacrifice their comfort for something greater. And that is why you were chosen, not because you are special, not because you are above anyone else, but because you were willing. So the question is, are you still willing? Because the path does not end here. The journey does not stop now. This is only the beginning. And now the choice is yours. Will you walk away? Or will you step fully into who you were always meant to be?